Hey everyone, I'm Matt Dolan with Dolan Divorce Lawyers in Connecticut, and today what I'm going to show you is how to set up an automatic wage withholding for the automatic withholding of either child support payments or alimony payments from your spouse's pay stubs, or your ex-spouse, or if you were never married, your ex-significant other, basically whoever owes you alimony or child support. So I'm not going to put this form on our website because it gets updated periodically. You can see this was updated in September of 2023. But if you just do a Google search for Connecticut income withholding for support, you'll be able to get the latest form that you have to fill out. And depending on the courthouse, sometimes you can get an automatic wage withholding on any type of, on any case, no matter what. But some of the courthouses require the existing orders to specifically say that the child support or alimony payments are to be paid by automatic wage withholding. So just whenever in doubt, if you're working out an agreement, if you're drafting an agreement, put in the language, if you want it to be in there, that the alimony or child support payments shall be paid via automatic wage withholding. So once you have the order for support, you need to follow this step to actually set up the wage withholding in order to notify the obligees or the obligors. So obligor is the person who pays the support. Obligee is the person who receives the support. So you're going to need to notify the obligor's employer so that the automatic wage withholdings can commence. So you're going to fill out this form. You can, this is specifically if if an attorney is doing it or if a self-represented individual is doing it. Sometimes the Child Support Enforcement Agency will do it, and this video is not for that situation. You should just work directly with Child Support Enforcement if they are going to fill out the document. So here, if you're an attorney filling this out on behalf of your client, you check the attorney box, or if you're a self-represented individual, you check the private individual / entity box. So scrolling down, you put Connecticut as the state if it's a Connecticut court order. You put the judicial district where the case took place, so it could be New Haven, Hartford, Stamford, etc. So just make sure you put the appropriate judicial district. And then under order ID, you put the docket number of your case or of the case. So you put that there. Then you move down to the employer and case information. So here's where you put the employer information from the person who is paying child support. So you can often pull this from the obligor's financial affidavit. But you generally want to make sure before you enter into an agreement or before you get court orders that you have the employer information so that you can set up this wage withholding. So you just put the employer's name, their name and address, and then here you put the person who's paying the support, you put their name, their social security number. Again, you're going to want to make sure you get their social security number in advance if possible. You put their date of birth, and then you put your own name or date of birth, your own or your client's if you're an attorney watching this video. So then you put the children's information. If you happen to have the employer's their company's EIN number, you can put that here. But you might not have the employer's FEIN number, so in that case you can just leave it blank. You're going to want to put the children's names and dates of birth in this section. And then under section 3, the order information. So you put this document is based on the support order from the state of Connecticut or another state if it's another state. But usually it's the state of Connecticut and then put the date of the order. And then you're going to need to fill out this section with what the actual orders are. So, generally it's going to be current child support or current spousal support. So that's alimony. You can only put this arrearage part if there's actually been a court-ordered finding of an arrearage. But you can't just calculate the arrearage on your own and put that here. Or if there's been a court-ordered specific order for contributions towards medical insurance on a weekly or monthly basis, or or there's been a court-ordered finding of past due spousal support, so alimony, you can put that here. But generally speaking, it's going to be either child support or alimony or both, and generally those are on a weekly basis. If the court order is monthly, then you're going to don't just divide by 4. People often make that mistake. If you have to get from monthly to weekly, do not divide by 4. You have to take the monthly amount and then multiply it by 12 to get to the annual amount, and then divide by 52 to get to the weekly amount. But it's normally in weekly numbers. So you put the total amount here, and then for the amounts to withhold, you need to fill out what the amounts would be in different scenarios. So again, the weekly amount is going to be the same as right here. And then to get to biweekly amount, you just multiply the weekly amount times 2. To get to semi-monthly, so twice a month, you're going to take the weekly amount and divide it by 52 to get to the annual amount. And then you have to, you take the weekly amount, multiply by 52 to get to the annual amount, and then divide by 24 to get to the twice a month amount. 12 months in a year, if you're paid twice a month, it's 24 pay periods. So you weekly amount times 52 divided by 24. Or if you need the monthly pay period, you take the weekly amount, multiply it by 52 to get to the annual amount, and then divide by 12 months in a year to get to the monthly pay period amount. So that's what you put in that section. These should autofill with the information from above for the docket number, the employer's information, etc. Then scrolling down, this is to be completed by the employer, so you can disregard that. This will be auto-filled. You're going to keep going to page 4. Again, this will all be auto-filled. And then what you're going to go down to is section 8 here. So this is the information that you are directing towards the employer and the employee obligor. So basically, you're putting your own information. So if you are a attorney, you're going to put your law firm's information in these boxes. So your firm name, your phone number, fax number, email, address. So you might not have a fax number. Well, most attorneys' offices will. But if you're an individual filling this out, you put your own information. So you would put your own name, your own phone number. You probably don't have a fax number. You put your own email address and your address. So that is how you complete this form. Then you take it to the clerk's office. You can fax it to the clerk's office, but I'd suggest going in person, showing it to the clerk, and having them look through it to make sure it's all filled out properly, and they don't have, they might tell you, oh, you got to fill this out differently. So I would normally take it in and have somebody look at it, and they'll either fill out some things that the court needs to fill out and hand it back to you, or more likely they will fill out what they need to fill out and then they will mail it to you. And then once you have the document, you have to submit the document to the employer. So you should you can mail it, or I would suggest at least doing certified mail, so that they have to sign for it, and so that you can confirm that they received it. So you send it to the employer, and then they will process the automatic wage withholdings, which should go through the state of Connecticut. So it might take a little while to process, but you should ultimately be receiving checks directly, the garnished checks through the state of Connecticut, and they will track all of those payments, etc. So those are the basics on how to set up the automatic wage withholding. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to contact our office. And if you are looking for representation in a family law case, please contact our office to see if we can help you out.